Good afternoon, I'm Joel Kamadi and a very warm welcome to NTV at 1. Let's take a look at the headlines. Is granted bail by Buganda Road Magistrates Court. And KCC Executive Director embarks on inspection of Kampala roads under construction. Also coming up, Turkish riot police storm into Istanbul's Taksim Square, where anti-government protesters have been staging demonstrations for nearly 2 weeks. You're watching NTV at 1. Once again, a very warm welcome. You're watching NTV at 1. Now, Uganda People's Congress Party President Dr. Olara Otunu has been granted bail by the Uganda Road Magistrates Court. Otunu appeared before court to answer 2 charges defaming the president and failure to attend to written court summons.
The UPC Party President Dr. Olara Otunu appeared before the Buganda Road Court Magistrate Arali Muhira this morning on charges of libel to the effect that he defamed the President Yoweri Museveni, characterizing his reign and rise to power as violent and bloody. Otunu is also charged with failure to attend police summons at CIID headquarters on the 28th February to clarify on the defamatory statements he's alleged to have made. Otunu pleaded not guilty on both counts, and his defense team, led by Asman Basalira, prayed that he be awarded bail on grounds that both cases are minor and should be considered misdemeanor, hence they don't carry heavy sentences that may lead the accused to abscond considering his repute. The prosecution did not challenge this application. Honorable Mathias Nsubuga, the Bukoto South MP, and Professor Edward Baguma Kakonge were presented as sureties by the defense team, and each was ordered to pay a non-cash bail of 40 million shillings and also hand in their travel documents. Otunu was released on a non-cash bail of 20 million shillings for the 2 charges. He is to appear in court on the 20th of July for a mention and the 20th of August for the hearing. It is alleged that the UPC party president committed these offences on the 16th of January 2013 while addressing a news conference at the Uganda House in Kampala. Suhail Mugabi, NTV.
Now, the Kampala Capital City Authority Executive Director Jennifer Musisi has this morning been on a fact-finding mission inspecting several Kampala roads. KCCA this financial year embarked on a massive resurfacing and resealing of major city roads. The authority, however, says they will take on other major roads in dire need of repair in the next financial year.
We are going around some of our projects, the road projects in the city, inspecting the works that the contractors have done. One of the things that we take as very important in KCCA is value for money, for the money that we are putting in these projects, to make sure that the contractors are doing a good job.
To a rather baffling story, 2 fishermen were killed when their boat rammed into hippos on Lake George in Kasese district. The 2 drowned after they failed to swim when they fell off their boat.
On these waters of Lake George, home to many, fishermen always come in search of a livelihood. They catch fish to sustain themselves and their families. For 2 fishermen, however, this security has ceased. In the search for fish, they encountered other water creatures other than fish.
By coincidence, they came across where there was shallow water where some hippos reside. So eventually when they reached there, because it was past midnight, then they were scared off. Once they were scared off, then all of them jumped out of the canoe.
Unfortunately, the two did not know how to swim.
The colleagues saw the canoe floating. After this one of them trying for a long time, calling for help, but nobody was nearby to help.
The police say that this is a dangerous zone.
At the beginning of January, also we experienced 2 accidents, and from there till today.
The waters in which they met their death are rich in fish, but are also home to many hippos.
When there are long rains, there are much water in the lake. And when there is much water in the lake, swamps tend to grow towards the lake, and those are the areas where the hippos like most, so that they will be feeding on the grass. And now also, these are the areas also where the fish like most, because sometimes also they feed on hippos' dung and all that.
The bodies of the 2 men, 22-year-old Paul Mohinda and 19-year-old Patrick Masereka, have both been retrieved from the waters.
Police in Kasese have forcefully ejected 30 people from Kasese Red Cross branch where they had camped. The affected claimed they were flood victims who had failed to find where to stay. However, police and Red Cross have described them as masqueraders.
Over 30 flood victims in the Kasese disaster will have to look for a new place to stay after police forcefully chased them away from the Red Cross Kasese branch office where they had camped last night. Kasese Primary was the immediate relief center for all the displaced. But since school resumed, these women and men say they have been moving from place to place until they could not move anymore, settling here at the Red Cross office.
We went to the RDC. He promised us that we should go there. And when we went there, he again refused to help us.
But the Red Cross and police have described these as masqueraders who are taking advantage of the unfortunate Kasese floods disaster.
This gentleman is Mr. Ngangas. He's known he's a border man. We even rented his motorcycle. But he comes to say, I have nowhere to stay. And he has a business.
Most of those displaced during the floods were taken in by friends and family after the closure of the relief centers initially set up on the onset of the floods.
Outgoing Internal Affairs Minister Hilary Onek this morning met his counterpart from South Korea. During the meeting, Onek reiterated the continued partnership with South Korea and the Internal Affairs Ministry. South Korea has trained over 100 police marines and 5,000 security personnel to enhance the efficiency of the Uganda police force.
The purpose of our police training and strength is to ensure that our people go about their business peacefully, and even in leadership, in the politics, where we have multi-party democracy here, that is also given security protection, so that there is no turbulence in our peaceful living existence in our country, and also our neighbors will respect us. If you are weak, nobody will respect you. In the region, to guarantee peace in the region, we are contributing to peaceful coexistence in the region. Your contribution is going to ensure that there is internal harmony and law and order in the country, for which we are really grateful. We appreciate that friendship.
Let's now take a look at how the shilling is faring against other world currencies in our money market report. We're now going to take a short break, but NTV at 1 continues shortly. Do stay with us.
Game on. You ready?
All set.
Yeah! Woo! Whoa! Woohoo! Yeah, catch you later. Whoa, did you miss me?
Oh, nice one.
Play again?
On the next episode of Deception, with Banking Kabosi changes with Orange. Today changes with Orange.
I thought I was dealing with somebody with sense. I thought you were bright enough.
Oh, Gilbert, what is it?
When I tell you to do something, I expect power. What were you thinking giving Chris the invitation?
He is the auditor, and those documents were meant for him.
I cannot get pregnant.
Yeah.
What? Don't say it. Don't.
Get more on-net minutes than on any other network while using Uganda's clearest signal. Dial *134*1# to subscribe. Banking Kabosi changes with Orange. Today changes with Orange. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. Now, 4 people have been arrested in Masaka in connection with a Muslim scuffle that ensued yesterday between rivaling factions of Old Kampala and Chibuli. The two factions engaged each other in a physical fight at Masaka main mosque that left 2 people injured. Those arrested are Musa Ntale, Juma Mayanja, Hassan Galiwango, and Hassan Mukasa, all residents of Masaka town. Now, the scuffle broke out at about 4 p.m. when the alleged Old Kampala faction, led by Sheikh Bruhan Bagunduse, stormed the Masaka main mosque and attempted to break into its offices. Imam Abdul Malik and Suna Musa sustained serious injuries during the scuffle, and they were both rushed to hospital where they received treatment. Police has begun investigating the matter.
Bagunduzu Burhan attacked the mosque at around 5 a.m., broke the padlocks, broke the glasses, forcefully entered into the mosque, beat the people who are trying to give security, who are the local Muslims around, hurt them and injured. We came in very fast, we arrested these people who attacked the mosque, and we are going to charge them with 1 case of robbery because they had all implements which can be used against robbery.
Now, the World Bank, through its private sector lending arm of the International Finance Corporation, IFC, has given the Uganda Registration Services Bureau 26 billion shillings towards expanding reforms in the unit. According to Karon Daula, the country program manager for the IFC, it's expected that the assistance would enable the Registration Services Bureau enhance its computerization, eliminate multiple required on licensing, and lock out graft.
At times you find we have to come in as the World Bank Group to support key activities. So it's very critical for them to actually access resources within government that will help them finalize whatever they've set out to do within the business registry. And considering that they are now going online, it's very important for the service to be very efficient and also available at all times, because being the business community, they don't have time to keep trying to see if the service is available online or not. So we need to learn from those that have already implemented online applications and pick lessons from there and be able to support URSP to run with it.
We'll be launching the Buru Regional Office.
so that we don't have to come to Kampala to register business, to register license, to register all those things. Following that, we shall be opening up the Arua regional office, Bara regional office, Bade regional office. Ultimately, our intention is to cover the whole country.
Scene, Turkish police have fired tear gas at hundreds of protesters who had moved into Istanbul's Taksim Square, the site of ongoing demonstrations against the government.
Backed by armored vehicles and wielded shields, the police this morning moved past barricades set by protesters and blocked all exits as small groups of demonstrators fought back against the early morning intervention. A statement from the office of the governor of Istanbul, Hüseyin Avni Mutlu, said the aim of the intervention was to remove banners and placards of various groups in the square, which were making it look like it was under occupation. Protesters responded by throwing stones, petrol bombs and fireworks, forcing police to fire tear gas at them. Taksim Square has been at the heart of anti-government demonstrations over the past 2 weeks. In Syria, 14 people have died and 13 others critically injured in 2 suicide bombers that struck the heart of Syrian capital, Damascus. Reports from the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights say the blasts were caused by explosive devices planted in the neighborhood. Authorities suspect that this could be an attack by the rebels against President Bashar al-Assad's troops.
Now, on the international sports scene, the day after winning his 8th Roland Garros title, Rafael Nadal celebrated at Disneyland Paris. The 27-year-old proudly displayed his Roland Garros winner's trophy in front of a crowd at Disneyland Park. And new Chelsea manager Jose Mourinho has described himself as the happy one at his official unveiling at Stamford Bridge.
Mourinho proclaimed that he is the happy one on his return to Chelsea, adding that he is calmer and a better manager than he has ever been.
I'm the happy one. Time flies. It looks like it was a couple of days ago, but it was 9 years ago. And since then, lots of things happen in my professional life. And I have the same nature, I'm the same person. I have the same heart, I have the same kind of emotions related to my passion for football and for my job. But I'm, of course, a different person. And in this moment, if I have to describe myself, I describe myself as a very happy person. I read and I keep listening that I was fired, I was sacked. We had a complete break of relationships. That was not true. Many people didn't believe on that, but was a mutual agreement. At that time, we thought that was the best for both of us, for me and for the club. You know, it was a sad moment. Of course, it was a sad moment, but I don't regret that decision, because after that, I went to Inter, where I had probably the best moment of my career.
In tennis, French Open champion Rafael Nadal celebrated his unprecedented 8th win at Roland Garros with a trip to Disneyland Paris. Nadal was met with cheers and chants from eager crowds as he displayed his trophy in the shadow of Theme Park Castle.
All the Grand Slams are special, but especially for me, Roland Garros have a special significance for all the Spanish players. And for me, since I arrived for the first time in Roland Garros to play the tournament in 2005, and you know, I won, was just a very, very special emotion for me.
And can't we all wait for the league to resume so that we can experience some of Mourinho's theatrics. And now it's time for a look at the weather forecast. And that brings the NTV at 1 newscast to a close. From all of the NTV team, have a great day.
NTV, turning on your world. Today's highlight.
I thought I was dealing with somebody with sense.